and I'm the one who will not raise taxes.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
The 1980s was a transformative decade for politics, marked by a wave of influential leaders who left lasting impacts on their countries and the world. But what happened to these once powerful leaders after their time in the spotlight? How did their legacies evolve in the years that followed? Join us as we explore the stories of 10 famous politicians from the 1980s.
I, Ronald Reagan, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States.
Ronald Reagan, the 40th President of the United States, left a lasting mark on American history. As a Republican, he served from 1981 to 1989, promoting conservative policies and economic principles known as Reaganomics. After his presidency, Reagan didn't fade into obscurity. Instead, he started a new chapter in his life. Upon retiring from public office, he remained active, giving occasional speeches where he shared insights from his political career and advocated for conservative values. One of his most personal projects during this time was writing his autobiography, An American Life. In this candid memoir, Reagan reflected on his Hollywood days, his journey into politics, and the challenges he faced as a leader.
This was in the wonderful era of Hollywood that exists no more. The era when the 7 major studios all had their list of contract players and stars.
Unfortunately, Reagan's later years were marked by health struggles. In 1994, he revealed that he had been diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease, a progressive neurological order. Despite this diagnosis, he continued to enjoy life with his wife, Nancy, at their cherished ranch in California. Friends and family saw his gradual decline, but his spirit remained resilient. On June 5, 2004, the nation mourned as Ronald Reagan passed away at 93 years old. Pneumonia, worsened by Alzheimer's, claimed his life, marking the end of an era defined by strong leadership, charisma, and unwavering patriotism. Ronald Reagan's legacy goes beyond politics. His impact on the Cold War, his economic policies, and his ability to connect with everyday Americans remain deeply ingrained in the national consciousness. Whether remembered as the great communicator or the actor-turned-president, Reagan's influence endures. His tenure in office and subsequent life continue to be subjects of admiration and study, illustrating a journey from Hollywood to the highest political office and then to a dignified and active retirement despite facing severe health challenges. As Ronald Reagan's post-presidential years came to a close, his influence on American politics and culture remained undeniable. But how did his era compare to the impacts of his contemporaries in the Senate? Let's explore the lasting legacy of Ted Kennedy and his remarkable career next.
Most interest, however, centers around Edward Ted Kennedy, the third brother to achieve success in the national political arena.
Edward Moore Kennedy, known as Ted, was a prominent figure in American politics. As a Democrat and a member of the influential Kennedy family, he left a lasting impact on the Senate. Ted Kennedy served as a U.S. Senator from Massachusetts from 1962 until his death in 2009, making him one of the longest-serving senators in American history. He was a strong advocate for progressive causes, especially in healthcare and education reform. His dedication to social justice and equality resonated with many Americans. In 1969, Kennedy faced a significant setback when his car plunged off a bridge on Chappaquiddick Island, resulting in the death of his passenger, Mary Jo Kopechne.
There is no truth whatever, to the widely circulated suspicions of immoral conduct that have been leveled at my behavior.
This incident overshadowed his political career and affected his presidential ambitions. Despite the controversy, he continued to serve and advocate for his constituents. Beyond the Senate chambers, Ted Kennedy's influence extended to legislation. He was instrumental in passing landmark bills like the Americans with Disabilities Act and the Children's Health Insurance Program. His passion for civil rights, immigration reform, and affordable health care left a lasting legacy. Even in his later years, Kennedy remained active in the Senate, fighting for causes close to his heart. His unwavering commitment to liberal ideals earned him respect across party lines. He was known as a bridge builder, seeking common ground even in a polarized political landscape. On August the 25th of 2009, Ted Kennedy passed away at the age of 77 due to brain cancer. His funeral at Arlington National Cemetery was a poignant moment as the nation bid farewell to a statesman who had dedicated his life to public service.
I, George Herbert Walker Bush, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States.
George Herbert Walker Bush, the 41st President of the United States, made a significant impact on American history. Serving from 1989 to 1993, he succeeded Ronald Reagan and led the nation as a Republican. His time in office was marked by major achievements, particularly in foreign policy. Bush played a key role in ending the Cold War, working closely with Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev to foster cooperation and reduce tensions between the superpowers. His decisive actions during the Gulf War also stood out. When Iraq invaded Kuwait, Bush demonstrated his commitment to global stability by leading an international coalition to liberate Kuwait. This effort showcased his leadership and dedication to maintaining international public order. Even after his presidency, Bush remained active in public life. He was deeply committed to service and continued to support various charitable causes. His passion for helping others led him to champion education, volunteerism, and humanitarian efforts. Bush's dedication to service ensured that his influence extended well beyond his time in office. He also took the time to reflect on his experiences as president. In his memoirs, he provided valuable insights into his tenure and the complexities of international relations. His book, A World Transformed, co-authored with Brent Scowcroft, offered an in-depth look at the diplomatic challenges and achievements of his administration. The Bush family's legacy of public service continued with his son, George W. Bush, who became the 43rd President of the United States. The father and son shared a strong bond, united by a sense of duty and love for their country. George H.W. Bush's commitment to public service and leadership left a lasting impression on both the nation and his family. On November the 30th of 2018, George H.W. Bush passed away at the age of 94 in Houston, Texas. His funeral was a moment of natural reflection, attended by dignitaries, friends, and family who came to honor a statesman dedicated to diplomacy, service, and the pursuit of a better world. Bush's legacy lives on not only in the history books but also in the hearts of those inspired by his leadership and compassion. As George H.W. Bush's legacy as a dedicated public servant and statesman leaves an indelible mark on history, how did Tip O'Neill's confrontations with Ronald Reagan shape the political landscape of his time? Let's explore the life and impact of this formidable Speaker of the House.
I appreciate the House that, through custom, the minority leader, Republican leader, as you know, opened the session and introduced me.
Thomas Philip Tip O'Neill Jr., a dedicated member of the Democratic Party from Massachusetts, served as the 47th Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives from 1977 to 1987. Known for his influential tenure, O'Neill's time as Speaker remains one of the longest in history, characterized by significant political battles and steadfast advocacy. Representing northern Boston in the House from 1953 to 1987, Tip O'Neill embodied the quintessential Bostonian politician with deep roots in Democratic politics. As Speaker, O'Neill wielded substantial power, often clashing with President Ronald Reagan. Their ideological conflicts were prominently displayed on the national stage, with O'Neill vehemently opposing Reagan's conservative policies. These confrontations highlighted O'Neill's unwavering commitment to liberal ideals, making him a staunch advocate for social justice, workers' rights, and equal opportunity. His powerful voice resonated through the halls of Congress, championing causes such as healthcare, education, and economic fairness. O'Neill's famous saying, "All politics are local," underscored the importance of grassroots connections, reflecting his belief in the impact of local politics on national issues.
The national politics, world politics, national politics Everything starts at your backyard. Everything is local.
In 1987, Tip O'Neill retired from his political career, but did not retreat from public life. He authored his autobiography, Man of the House, which offered candid stories from his time in Washington, D.C. His wit and storytelling ability captivated readers, providing a glimpse into the human side of a seasoned politician. Despite retiring, O'Neill remained an influential figure in Democratic circles. As an elder statesman, his insights were highly sought after by colleagues, journalists, and aspiring politicians. He continued to shape Democratic discourse, extending his influence beyond policy papers and committee meetings. On January the 5th of 1994, Tip O'Neill passed away from cardiac arrest, leaving behind a legacy etched in American political history. His gravestone at Mount Pleasant Cemetery in Harwichport, Massachusetts, stands as a testament to a man whose impact on the nation was profound. O'Neill's life and career are a reminder of the enduring power of passionate advocacy and the significant role of local politics in shaping national policies.
My decision to seek the nomination of the Democratic Party for the presidency of the United States of America.
Jesse Louis Jackson, born October the 8th of 1941 in Greenville, South Carolina, is a prominent American civil rights activist, politician, and ordained Baptist minister. His life's work, spanning over 7 decades, has left a significant impact on American history. Jackson emerged as a young protege of Martin Luther King Jr. during the Civil Rights Movement. His unwavering commitment to racial equality and social justice has been the defining feature of his journey. Working within the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, Jackson stood alongside King during pivotal moments, including the tragic assassination of King at a Memphis hotel. Jackson's aspirations extended into the political arena, where he made groundbreaking bids for the U.S. presidency in the Democratic Party nomination races. In the campaigns of 1983 to 84 and 1987 to 88, he became the most successful African American candidate until Barack Obama's historic nomination in 2008. His presidential campaigns resonated with many Americans, challenging the status quo and advocating for marginalized communities. Jackson's influence was profound, pushing the boundaries of political participation for African Americans and other underrepresented groups. Beyond electoral politics, Jackson's activism continued to thrive. He founded organizations that eventually merged to form the Rainbow Push Coalition, a key player in civil rights advocacy. Jackson remains active in civil rights movement today, using his voice to address issues such as police brutality, inequality, and systemic racism. His fiery speeches and unwavering commitment have mobilized communities and inspired countless individuals to join the fight for justice and equality. Jackson's influence extends far beyond his immediate actions. As an influential African American activist, his legacy endures, not confined to the past, but alive in the ongoing struggle for justice.
Jimmy Lee Jackson's 15-year-old African American student shot and killed in Marion, Alabama, about this right to vote.
His ability to inspire and mobilize communities remains a testament to his enduring impact. Currently, Jesse Jackson is still alive, a living testament to resilience and the power of advocacy. His voice remains relevant, echoing through the corridors of change and continuing to inspire those who fight for a more just and equal society. Jesse Jackson's powerful activism and historical presidential runs shaped American politics and civil rights deeply. But as we shift from Jackson's influence, how did another political giant, Newt Gingrich, reshape the Republican landscape? Let's explore his impactful career next.
The only correct course tonight is to defeat the 2 remaining budgets.
Newton Leroy Gingrich, born on June the 17th of 1943 in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, is an American politician and author who left a significant mark on the political landscape during the 80s and beyond. Gingrich emerged as a prominent figure in the Republican Party in the 1980s, representing Georgia's 6th congressional district, which included North Atlanta and surrounding areas. He served as their U.S. representative from 1979 until his resignation in 1999. One of his most notable achievements was his instrumental role in crafting the Contract with America, a set of policy proposals that led the Republicans to a historic victory in the 1994 congressional elections.
We're here because we are taking the first steps, and we're taking them in a contract with the American people.
In 1995, Gingrich became the 50th Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives, the first Republican to hold the office in 40 years. During his tenure as House Speaker, Gingrich championed welfare reform and a capital gains tax cut in 1997. He also played a key role in leading the impeachment proceedings against President Bill Clinton in the House. After leaving Congress, Gingrich embarked on a multifaceted career. As an author, he wrote several books on a range of topics from history and politics to science fiction, continuing to influence public discourse through his prolific writing. He also served as a political consultant, lending his expertise to various political campaigns and advising candidates on strategy and messaging. Gingrich became a frequent commentator on political shows, sharing his sharp insights on current events. In 2012, he ran for the Republican nomination for president. Although he did not secure the nomination, his campaign left a lasting impact on the race. Gingrich remained an active advocate for conservative causes, often voicing his opinions on national and international issues. Today, Newt Gingrich remains a prominent figure in American politics. He continues to contribute to political discussions and remains engaged in public life. Recently expressed support for Donald Trump at the 2024 Republican National Convention, emphasizing his views on foreign policy and critiquing President Joe Biden's administration. Gingrich's legacy as a key player in shaping political polarization and partisanship endures, with an impact that extends far beyond the 1980s. His career and contributions to American politics continue to be relevant and influential, making him a recognizable and enduring figure in the political arena.
I, Walter F. Mondale, solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Walter Frederick Fritz Mondale, born on January the 5th of 1928 in Ceylon, Minnesota, was a significant American lawyer and politician. He embarked on a notable political career, becoming the 42nd Vice President of the U.S. from 1977 to 1981 under President Jimmy Carter. As Carter's chief supporter, he pushed for liberal policies and championed social justice. In 1984, Mondale was the Democratic Party's nominee for president, with Geraldine Ferraro as his running mate. Ferraro made history as the first woman to run on a major party's presidential ticket. Despite this groundbreaking partnership, they were up against a formidable opponent, incumbent President Ronald Reagan. Unfortunately, Mondale and Ferraro lost in a decisive landslide in both the Electoral College and popular vote to Reagan and his running mate, George H.W. Bush. Nevertheless, Mondale's dedication to progressive values left a lasting impact on American politics. After his political career, Mondale continued to serve the public, taking on the role of United States Ambassador to Japan from 1993 to 1996. In this diplomatic position, he played a crucial part in strengthening U.S.-Japan relations during an important period. Even outside of formal positions, Mondale remained an influential advocate for causes he held dear, such as nuclear disarmament and equal rights. His unwavering commitment to justice extended well beyond his tenure in public office. Mondale's legacy is rooted in his steadfast dedication to progressive ideals, including civil rights, consumer protection, and fair housing, leaving an enduring influence that resonates today. Walter Mondale passed away on April the 19th of 2021 in Minneapolis, Minnesota, at the age of 93. His death marked the end of an era, but his contributions to American democracy continue to endure. Walter Mondale's political legacy is marked by his unwavering commitment to progressive values and social justice. As we reflect on his influential career, consider how his approach compares to the next prominent figure in our journey. What made Jack Kemp's vision for America so distinct from Mondale's? Let's explore the dynamic impact of Kemp's contributions in the world of politics and beyond.
I, Jack F. Kemp, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States. Thank you for doing it.
Jack Kemp, born on July the 13th of 1935 in Los Angeles, California, was a multifaceted American figure, both a professional football player and a Republican politician. He played for the San Diego Chargers and the Buffalo Bills before transitioning to politics. Kemp's political career began in 1971 when he was elected as a congressman from New York in the U.S. House of Representatives. He served until 1989, championing conservative causes while also strongly supporting civil rights legislation. In 1989, President George H.W. Bush appointed Kemp as the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. During his tenure, Kemp focused on housing policy, urban development, and community revitalization, emphasizing practical solutions for housing challenges and extending his advocacy beyond party lines. Kemp was a fervent advocate of supply-side economics, which emphasized tax cuts to stimulate economic growth.
Low tax rates on labor and capital and investment and risk takers and venture capitalists and entrepreneurs.
He believed that reducing tax rates would lead to an increased investment, job creation, and prosperity. His influence on economic policy extended beyond the 80s, with the Kemp-Roth tax cut legislation he co-sponsored becoming law in 1981. This legislation lowered individual income tax rates and set the stage for Reaganomics. Even after his congressional tenure, Kemp remained engaged in politics. In 1996, he was selected by Bob Dole as his vice presidential running mate in the presidential election. Although they did not win, Kemp's presence highlighted his enduring impact on conservative thought. Beyond electoral politics, Kemp worked as a consultant and speaker, sharing his insights on economics, urban issues, and leadership with audiences across the country. Kemp's legacy lies in his commitment to bridging economic divides and advocating for policies that empower individuals and communities. His passion for public service continued until the end of his life. On May 2, 2009, Jack Kemp passed away in Bethesda, Maryland, at the age of 73. He battled cancer, leaving behind a legacy that transcends football fields and political halls.
Senator Orrin Hatch is one of the longest-serving senators in American history, having represented Utah for more than 41 years.
Orrin Grant Hatch, born on March the 22nd of 1934 in Homestead, Pennsylvania, was a significant American politician whose influence went far beyond his 42 years in the U.S. Senate. Representing Utah from 1977 to 2019 as a Republican senator, Hatch was known for his conservative views and dedication to public service, making him a prominent figure in American politics. He chaired several key committees, including the Senate Committee on Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions from 1981 to 1987, where he was crucial in shaping healthcare and education policies. He also led the Senate Judiciary Committee from 1995 to 2001, and again from 2003 to 2005, playing a vital role in judicial matters, including participating in Supreme Court confirmation hearings and advocating for legal reforms. In 2015, Hatch became the President pro tempore of the Senate, a role typically held by the most senior senator, where his leadership helped bridge partisan divides. Known for his ability to work across party lines, Hatch's friendship with liberal icon Ted Kennedy was notable. Together, they collaborated on significant legislation, such as the Children's Health Insurance Program.
The poor are helped. They don't pay taxes, to be honest with you, but the middle class really shares the burden, the biggest burden of this economy, and we want to make sure that they're treated fairly.
He also supported the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017, a major overhaul of the tax code during the Trump administration. After leaving the Senate, Hatch worked as a consultant and surprised many with his talent as a lyricist, writing songs for various occasions. On April the 23rd, 2022, Hatch passed away in Salt Lake City, Utah, at the age of 88 due to complications from a fall. As Orrin Hatch's impactful career in the Senate and his surprising post-political pursuits come to a close, how did another prominent politician's journey through governance and academia shape modern American politics? Let's explore Michael Dukakis's significant contributions next.
you believe, as I do, in fulfilling the promise of America for every citizen in every part of every state and every region of this land.
Michael Stanley Dukakis, born November 3, 1933 in Brookline, Massachusetts, is an American politician and lawyer known for his influential career. Dukakis served as the governor of Massachusetts twice, first from 1975 to 1979, and again from 1983 to 1991. During his time in office, he oversaw significant economic growth, often referred to as the Massachusetts Miracle. In 1988, Dukakis sought the Democratic Party's presidential nomination, successfully winning the primaries and being formally nominated at the 1988 Democratic National Convention. He selected Senator Lloyd Bentsen of Texas as his running mate. Dukakis made history as the first major party presidential nominee with ancestry outside of Western or Northern Europe and the first Greek Orthodox nominee. After his political career, Dukakis returned to academia, teaching political science at Northeastern University and the University of California, Los Angeles. He became known for his technocratic approach to governance, emphasizing data-driven decision-making and practical solutions. His impact extended beyond politics, influencing public policy through his teaching and mentorship. Despite his age, Dukakis remains active in public service and education, continuing to leave a lasting mark on American politics and policy. Dukakis' life is a testament to his enduring commitment to public service. His career highlights the importance of pragmatic and informed governance, and his teaching has inspired many students in the field of political science.